And now I know why people want to put their toddlers in taekwondo and judo.
My son was in a high chair, screaming, lips busted, both his eyes busted, bruises all over him, screaming. And I picked him up instantly and asked her, what did she do?
Where them kicks at? Where them hands? Where them holes? Where them throws? You know what I'm saying?
Just a horrific situation for any parent to be in. And today, that Indianapolis mother who we just heard from might learn just how bad her child's injuries are.
We do want to warn you, the video is actually hard to watch of this little boy's injuries. His parents say they found the injuries when they picked him up from daycare. Jesse Harris is still in the hospital this morning after being hurt on Monday. You can see him here laughing, which is really a relief because he does have these injuries. MRI results today could give us a better idea of what kind of injuries he faced. Jesse's parents say an employee at Kitty Garden Daycare on East 38th Street called them Monday. They said they found the boy hurt in his playpen. Well, when the parents went to pick him up, they were then told it was another child that hurt their son. Indianapolis Police and Child Protective Services are now investigating. Jesse's parents just want to know what happened.
There said it didn't look like a 2-year-old did that unless that 2-year-old was Mike Tyson.
Now, the daycare has released a statement saying they've never had any accusations of abuse before.
This is why I train in martial arts. This is one instance where I'm definitely going to agree with Brother Pop Culture. Because anytime somebody feels like they can beat a 1-year-old like that, in my opinion, he's supposed to bust them in their face, you know what I'm saying?
Tiffany admits to punching the 22-year-old daycare worker out of anger. The police report lists that worker as the suspect.
You're supposed to bust them in their face, you know what I'm saying? But seriously, I'm trying to bring some kind of coping mechanism to a tragic situation. This must be why people, when I had the toddler class, people were trying to get their kids in my toddler class like 1 and 2 years old. Like, you can't put a 1 or 2-year-old in a martial arts class. What do you think they're going to really learn? But I do have to say I may be wrong about that, because I remember this is a long time ago. We're talking like 20 years ago. I was driving down Rhode Island Avenue, and I swear to you, I was stuck at a light. And I heard this woman talking real loud. It was her and her son. And she was like, look what he can do. Look, right? And I'm looking. Everybody's looking. She said, look. She told him, go. That boy started beating down on the pavement like he was beating a person up. He was throwing haymakers down and like kicking. And to me, the way that child was doing that must be a child who sees people get beat up like that on a regular basis. Beat up, beat down, beat sideways, beaten to the 4th dimension, beat from the 4th dimension to the 3rd dimension down to the 2nd dimension. That child is seeing violence. So I know that the daycare worker is the suspect in the daycare attack where where a 1-year-old was beaten up very badly. The daycare worker said it was a 2-year-old. A lot of people, of course, don't believe that it was a 2-year-old. They think it was a daycare worker to beat the child like that. And I would be inclined to believe that too. But first of all, I remember when my son was in daycare, another child tried to cut him with a box cutter. He still got a little scratch from that. The only reason why his face wasn't sliced up is because by then he'd learned the roundhouse kick from his father. So he kicked the boy in the head, made the boy drop the box cutter. At first, the boy swung at him. He slipped it back from the boxing training. Then he went into his taekwondo bag. Roundhouse kicked killed the kid in the head. He said the kid fell down and dropped the box cutter. I didn't even know this happened to him until years later when he said that he told me someone came at him with that thing. Now, I remember the day it happened, he had just had I thought somebody just scratched. I said, what happened? He said, this boy scratched me. I said, what'd you do? I kicked him in the head. And I thought it was just literal, just another scratch. I said, well, don't you think that was a little much the way? He said, no, because his fingernail grew long when he scratched me. So he didn't even understand that the boy came at him with a box cutter. but he still kicked the boy in the head. I think he might have been 4 when he did that, 3 or 4. So, we're supposed to give solutions rather than just complaining, right? Here are 2 solutions as to how you can actually prepare a toddler to fight. Number 1, my least favorite solution, the toddler can learn to fight the way that I did initially by being the run of a litter. If you're the run of a litter, I come from a family of 4 children. Those 4 children, my mother and my grandparents. I was the youngest, so I had to fight. And the older ones, as they want to do, of course, now that we're all grown, oh no, I never did that, right? I'm not mad at them, but that's just how kids are. Excuse me. When you're the run of your litter, you have to swing to keep the older ones off you. Okay? So you can do that. There were kids that lived 2 houses down. It was 3 of them, 1 of me. And sometimes we would fight each other. And one of them actually went on the box. He's actually pretty good. So I learned to fight like that too. So you can have your child in an environment where they're just constantly swinging at other kids are swinging at them. I'm sure a lot of you don't like that. Or you can take the approach I recommend, which a lot of you don't like, but will say that you do. That is, you need to enroll in a martial arts class. You, mom, you, dad, need to enroll in a martial arts class. And what will happen is that the child will imitate you. And when they imitate you and you're going to come up with creative ways to play martial arts with your child will learn better that way. See, just sticking them in my class is not quite enough because I'm probably only going to see your child once a week, especially if it's a toddler class. You need to enroll. If you really, truly want your toddler to learn how to fight, and you don't want to just stick them around a bunch of kids that are going to rough him or her up, so that when some other kid comes at him at daycare, or even an adult, comes at him at daycare, they stand a fighting chance, literally. You need to enroll in the martial arts class and figure out how to pass the information on to your child. Because my son learned a lot when he was little from just watching me practice. Their minds are like little sponges. And now I know why people want to put their toddlers in Taekwondo and Judo. Peace.